Traumatic head injuries are often called the signature wound of the Iraq and Afghanistan wars, and for years, many suffering couldn't get any care. But now, the VA is making changes and apologizing for the lack of care. NBC Charlotte's Mark Boyle has that story.
I wish I wasn't here talking to you about this and that we had got it right the first time.
What David McClinican, the VA's Deputy Undersecretary for Disability Assistance, admits they got wrong has been the subject of a TEGNA year-and-a-half-long investigation, exposing the VA for not following its own rules when it comes to diagnosing veterans suspected of having traumatic brain injuries.
It was a systemic national problem that we've identified and that are working to fix now.
VA policy states only 4 types of highly trained specialists are allowed to diagnose whether a veteran has a TBI. I spoke with Congressman Robert Pittenger here in Charlotte recently. He too is looking into the cause of this and how to prevent it from happening again.
The management of the VA is replete with the lack of real accountability, such that, their own structures don't allow them to fire people that need to be fired.
Our investigation identified cases where vets didn't even see a doctor.
It was a nurse practitioner I had.
Shortly after our station in Minneapolis aired its first report, Congressman Tim Walz called for a nationwide investigation.
When we were first hearing of this in Minnesota, I think the phrase we used was, if it's happening here, it's not only possible, it's probable it's happening elsewhere.
The VA launched a national review going back to 2007 that was just recently completed. What we now know is that nearly 25,000 veterans in big cities and small towns all across America will soon be notified that they were victims of what the VA calls an injustice. And about 3,000 veterans here in North Carolina will soon be receiving this letter in the mail. It'll spell out their options going forward. They'll have 1 year to respond. Mark Boyle, NBC.